Hey, this is Nick with Android Fan Network, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Spigen UltraFit for the Galaxy S4. So according to Spigen, this is their ultra-thin case for the Galaxy S4. It's made out of polycarbonate material, so basically plastic. It's a really thin plastic case. There isn't much to it. It's one piece. This is the only thing that comes in the package, just the case in a plastic bag. You don't get a screen protector, but that's basically how all of the cases come nowadays, except for OtterBox and maybe a couple of other exceptions. Most cases just come with the case itself. So on the inside we have some information from Spigen, and that the fact that it's an authentic product and it's made for the Galaxy S4. Alright, let's stick the Galaxy S4 on it and do a quick 360 on it. It's a tight fit, but it snaps on easily. So you don't have to worry about it falling off or anything like that. Alright, let's start with the back. So we have a perfectly sized cutout for the camera and flash, and then below that you can notice it says 13 mega, or the 13 megapixel camera in the Galaxy S4. And on the bottom there, it has a cutout for the camera, or I'm sorry, the speaker grill, and we have some Spigen branding. So smooth material. It does pick up a little, some fingerprints. You can see. You might be able to see my fingerprints on there. Not bad. You have to tilt it just right, but it does collect a few fingerprints. So just something to consider. It'll probably wipe itself off when you stick it in your pocket. If you stick it in your shorts pocket, it'll wipe off on the material. So not much to worry about there. Now let's take a look at the front. Alright, so the lip there is almost non-existent. It is very low. It has a very low lip. Just enough. You can set it on your table and you don't have to worry about scratching it up on the surface of the table or the flat surface itself. But if you dropped it on pretty much on most other surfaces, it would damage your screen. You will get a scratch. If I dropped this on cement, it would possibly get a scratch simply because of how cement can be not entirely even. And that lip there is just absolutely tiny. You can see it there. So yeah, no problem. Laying it on its face here, on my flat desk here, smooth desk. But anything more than that, you have to be careful. Don't drop it on its face. Nobody plans to drop their phone, but if you do drop it on its face, it's not going to be too pretty if it's on anything other than a flat surface. I'm sorry, I'm a little sick today. Alright, now let's start with the power button side. So Spigen made a very large cutout for the power button, so those with big fingers don't have to worry about can they get their finger in there, can you get your finger in there to turn it on or turn it off. It's wide enough to accept any finger size. I have probably above average fingers or average, and mine fit in there perfectly. It's more than large enough. And like I said before, it's made out of polycarbonate material, so it's smooth plastic all the way around. It has a slight matte feeling to it. It's not entirely like a glossy case, like the glossy TPU case we just reviewed, that type of material, like a gloss finish. It's more matte finish, but it is still smooth. Moving on to the volume rocker side, they did the same thing. Excuse me. They made a large cutout so that people with larger fingers can fit their fingers in there without worrying about will they actually be able to get their finger in there. And more smooth plastic. Now on the top and bottoms, they have an entire cutout here. Now a lot of people complain about how it's entirely open, and that is, in my opinion, one reason I wouldn't want this case. It's not a bad case, and not that I wouldn't get it, but it would be one con or one knock I have against this case, is that the top and the bottom are entirely open. Now the benefit to that is you can obviously plug in any headphone jack you want, and you can plug in any USB cable you want. There isn't going to be any plastic restricting which plugs or cables you can use. Now the downside is, if you drop it just right, you could possibly hit the phone. I think at about this angle, it's really just hitting the phone and it's not touching the case. So that angle, hitting the case or hitting the phone. This angle, it's up off the table and it's hitting the case. So you have to be careful. Certain angles, you will hit the phone if you drop it like this. That's hitting the top of the phone. That isn't. So that's the trade-off there. Of course, they had to leave it open. They had to leave a bit of a cutout here so you could get the phone out of the case, because if it was all hard plastic all the way around, you couldn't get the phone out. All right, so Spigen's ultra thin case. This is on Amazon for $10, and it's available with Prime shipping. So you can have this in 2 business days, and it's an excellent case if you're looking for bump protection. And if you drop, it has a little. It doesn't really offer much drop protection. Like I said, the top, the bottom, the front, they aren't very well protected. The sides, sure, they're protected fairly well, but your phone doesn't always fall on its side. So this is really a minimalistic case, scratch protection, so if you slide it across your table, you aren't scratching up your new Galaxy S4. The only thing I would recommend getting with this case, if you decide you only need a light duty case, I would say grab a screen protector as well, since obviously they didn't include one, just to keep your glass clean and not to let it get scratched up. Hopefully we will review some screen protectors soon, so you can check them out. Choose the right one for you. We will be giving this case away soon. This case and another Spigen case, the Bounce, I believe. Let me look at it. Let me see if I have it around me. It's a Spigen Bounce case for the Galaxy S4. So we'll be giving away this case and the Bounce. It's like a TPU case, soft case. So we will be giving away this case on our site, AndroidFanNetwork.com. And if you'd like to stay notified of our giveaways and reviews and news stories, just follow us on Google Plus, and you can like us on Facebook to get our news feed, and you can follow us on Twitter as well at Team AFN, and that way you can stay up to date with all of our giveaways. We'll be having weekly giveaways for the Galaxy S4 and the HTC One, 2 of the biggest phones right now. So if you're looking for a case, if you're going to need a case soon for your upgrade, definitely stay tuned to our sites. It sounds like someone's mowing their lawn out there, so I'm going to cut this review short. Thanks for watching. This is Nick with Android Fan Network, and don't forget to check out our site, AndroidFanNetwork.com.